So coming up next, we have the Liger Leadership Academy. They are going to present Anti-Trawling Artificial Reef and Fish Aggregation Device Cluster.
As I and everyone in this room are aware of, trying to restore the lives of a healthy marine ecosystem is our dream. So today, the Liger Marine Research Team gonna make this dream come true by presenting you a new solution. Hi, my name is Venghour.
My name is Rika.
And my name is Soliday.
We are the young researchers from the Liger Leadership Academy from Cambodia. Cambodia is one of the countries in Southeast Asia that has many ecological significance and that has a coastline about 440 kilometers long. In that area, there's Skype Archipelago, where it is rich in marine ecosystem and provides many ecosystem services, a migratory route for the megafauna such as dolphins, dugongs, and sea turtles, a nursery ground for juveniles where they can nourish themselves, a protection for the coastlines from any distractions, a place that maintains the nutrient cycle which sustains a healthy marine ecosystem, and of course, a place that provides a food security for the local fishermen, which improves by doing small-scale fishing. However, there are many anthropogenic activities continuously happens in Skype Archipelago. Overfishing, IUU fishing, or illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, such as bottom trawling, electrofishing, senet, and many other problems. And you can see in the picture here, the change over time of the sea mussels in Skype Archipelago due to trawling and many other environmental factors. Trawling specifically is one of the major anthropogenic activities happens in Skype Archipelago. As you can see in the diagram, trawlers are using massive nets attached to the back of the boat, and that net drags through the bottom floor of the ocean and kills many benthic organisms and habitats.
Because of the benefits that the ecosystem provides and the destruction that we can no longer tolerate, with the help of Marine Conservation Cambodia, an organization based in Skype Archipelago, we have come up with a solution that will solve not one, but multiple problems. The solution consists of two devices. One is called the Anti-Trawling Artificial Reef, and another is called the Fish Aggregation Device, also known as cluster. The Anti-Trawling Artificial Reef is a hexagonal concrete block made out of 21 concrete blocks. Each block weighs about 100 to 150 kilograms with a length of approximately 1.25 meter. All those blocks are tied together into the hexagon shape by using ropes going through each end of the block. We also use chains to reinforce and balance those blocks. This is the fish aggregation device, known simply as cluster. It is a triangular bamboo shape. Each bamboo has a length from 3 to 6 meters tied together by ropes. And underneath those bamboos, they are dangling for a rope that would give juvenile fish a nursery ground.
Like any other project, we experimented our design to find out the costs and benefits of it. The combination of these two devices create a vertical habitat for marine species. As you've seen in the previous picture, the cluster is made out of bamboos and frayed ropes. The frayed ropes is there for fish to lay their eggs and for juveniles to hide from their predators. It is also a great place for algae to recolonize, which is a great advantage for herbivores' food source. For the bamboos itself, it acts as a surface for mussels like green lips mussel, like the above picture as you've seen here. It is growing on the ropes and the bamboos. For the concrete blocks, it is also a great ideal surface for substrate like oyster, bivalves, and mussels to recolonize and grow, which is a benefit for the water filtration. And water filtration is very important for areas like Cape Archipelago, where there are a lot of sediment stirring up because of heavily trawling. After 1 month of deployment of the concrete block, we've seen an increase of the marine species. Like over here, you see juvenile catfish living under the block. So for this reason, we predicted that there will be a spillover effect that will help to connect different habitats around the area of the structure. One major benefit of the device is that it has been proven to be stable and secured, and therefore the illegal trawling net would not be able to drag upon it. It is durable even through high disturbance. This is a passive solution because it helps to reduce the risk of those who go patrol the ocean, like organizations like Marine Conservation Cambodia that is based in Cape Archipelago. You might be wondering what are the materials that we use. So for bamboos and cement, we can easily find that locally. For ropes and chains, we can collect that from illegal fishing gear, but also from upcycling materials from beach cleaning around the island. And instead of using the plastic buoy, we use the cluster itself as an indication of the location of the structure.
So after hearing all the benefits of our solution, you might be wondering, how do we assess the effectiveness of the structure, both blocks and cluster? So we came up with the implementation and methodology by following 3 different processes. First, it is very important to do a baseline survey at the chosen degraded area. As in our research, the degraded area is stayed within the marine protected area within the Cape Archipelago to assess the biodiversity before the deployment. Next, it comes to the deploying time, where you gather all the blocks and the cluster to the boat and to the location marked by GPS, and bring those down to the water with the divers, and that's where the assembly happens. After that, we will keep monitoring with our blocks and cluster, assessing the biodiversity, the lives, during the field season to do the comparison before deployment and after the deployment. In the detail of the monthly survey, we actually adopted the version of Reef Check International, where we assess different marine species and also the environmental conditions, such as fish, invertebrates, and substrates like silt and sand.
Although this is a proposed solution, but we have been experimenting with our solution and have data as evidence. So we deployed our first block in March 2018 and did our first survey in April 2018. And as you can see here, this graph shows the change in fish abundance before and after the block and cluster deployment. The blue bars represent the before the deployment, and the red bars is the aftermath of the deployment. And as obviously shown, there is a significant increase all across those commercial species. We also did a PET test in order to further find out, and we resulted in a p-value less than 0.05. Next is this graph that shows the change in fish species richness before and after the block and cluster deployment. Again, as obviously shown, the fish species richness changes from just about 8 species to about 23 species, and this is a significant increase.
So far, we've deployed 2 structures between these 2 islands, as you see in the picture. But we're hoping to deploy the block one every year by keeping it 200 meters apart from each other, in order for it to have this connectivity between the habitats of different structures. We also would like to experiment with new design with different shape, different heights, but also deploying it at different depths to see which one is more effective. As of now, we've deployed the structure throughout Cape Archipelago, and we've deployed over 90 structures, but we're also hoping to deploy more of this device throughout the coastline of Cambodia, and you can help us implement these blocks, this device, around areas that are heavily trawled or that are affected by other environmental factor. And it could be anywhere around the world by anyone.
Now we have a problem that is threatening lives underwater. And we've come up with this efficient solution, a solution that can be implemented everywhere, a solution that is made out of sustainable and locally sourced material, a solution that would discourage trawlers to stop using their trawling nets. And with all these given benefits, we all here can be a part of the solution and help in re-establishing this precious marine ecosystem.
In addition, we would like to say thank you to Marine Conservation Cambodia for supervising our diving trips and for also supporting us throughout the process of our project. We would like to thank to Laganza Foundation for funding our project. And finally, we would like to thank Ocean Park for hosting this competition and conference and for having us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now let's have our Q&A session from the judges.
All right. Thank you very much, and welcome to Hong Kong. Thanks for coming all the
you.
way here, and really enjoy your presentation. So I'm not entirely convinced that the observed increase in abundance and richness in your fish is solely due to that, but that's not really my main concern here. My main concern is whether or not you have any data or whether or not you monitor how frequent or what kind of fishing methods are the fishermen using before and after your deployment, and also how would they react if they find out, oh, there are 99 of these structures in the ocean and their fishing gear getting destroyed, and they might ask for compensation from the government, and how would you plan on dealing with that?
Just to addition information, the structure or the location that our project is based is in a marine protected area. So there is a map where like fishermen can fish here or illegal fishermen can't fish there, or this is like no diving area. So the place that we deploy the structure is all within the marine protected area, and therefore the illegal trawling nets shouldn't even be there in the first place. So if their nets got caught in the block, it's not our fault.
But do people actually trawl inside the area?
Yes, definitely yes.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to go back to where my colleague started off. And he started off about taking the data. And I would like to know more about the consistency of the data, how often you took the data, how did you take the data? Did you use mechanical or electrical or optical sensors, or did you use visual human interaction to take that data?
Our methodology is done manually, so we are divers that is going during field season, which is during January to May, every month at around the same period of time, and then we do the survey, which is an adapted version of Reef Check International. So we have the list of all the commercial species, and then we just dive down, do a 100-meter transect line, swim slowly, and counted all the fish, since there isn't a technology that could help us with this survey yet. Thank you.
So just a suggestion, perhaps you can position a camera and then you have a regular feed on a regular time, and then you can do a more daily count.
Yeah, thank you.
My first question is, as we talked about the fact that you might have some trawling boats, so if they get stuck in your structure, then how do you kind of take care of that? Especially the concrete one, it seems it's quite big and heavy. So do you have a mechanism by which you could kind of rescue the boat or the net?
This is a real-life experiment. As you know, we did this. We put our blocks in water. And of course, we're gonna be transparent with you. Our block actually did caught the trawling nets. And there's only no electronic devices that we can take all those nets out. Only us, the divers, going down there, using our hands and knives and take all those nets out. That's how we untangle all the ropes and all the nets out of that place.
And guess what? When we take the ropes out of the block, we recycle those ropes back too.
Which means that you need to consistently keep going back. You cannot have those this anti-trawling structure sitting there just by itself, because there is a possibility that the nets would get stuck, which would mean that the fish would get stuck. So you have to consistently go there and make sure that there are no nets there. Is that correct?
Well, yes. We go down there every month to do our survey. So like whenever we go down, we should probably see if the trawlers are trawling at those during those months. We should probably see the trawling nets. So, but like it's just more than that, because we need to go, yes, but also that the fact that the trawling net gets stuck is a proof that our solution is working. So it got stuck because it just couldn't trawl the concrete and tear the block apart. So the advantage is more than the cost and the disadvantage.
I'd just like to make a statement. Because we go down to our diving site, our research site every month, we've seen that there are a decrease of illegal trawling. So we see that our solution is working. A lot of trawlers are stopping to trawl at that area because they know that if they trawl, their net's gonna get stuck and they're gonna cut off their nets, which cost them thousands and thousands of dollars because those nets are very expensive. And the trawling method is expensive too. And so our solution is working to stopping them.
Okay. Could you share the cost of the anti-trawling solution, please?
Yes, the entire solution only costs from $50 to $100, and in that, some of the materials can be upcycling from beach cleaning, like ropes, frayed ropes, because it's done manually, so you can get the legal fishing gear, for example. Those nets, those rope can be used, and we only need to pay for cement and bamboos, which is low cost in Cambodia.
One last question. So, especially when I look at the anti-trawling structure, it seemed quite big. So, how do you actually ship it from the coast to the actual location?
It all depends on us. We're using our human energy to pick up all those blocks to the boat and go to the place that marked out by GPS and bring those down to with the water with the divers and assemble it. That's how we're doing it.
Okay. And do you keep a track of where you're putting these trawlers on a website or something so that people can continue?
Yes, we collaborated with Marine Conservation Cambodia, and they actually have the digital map and also have GPS device that can mark each location, which our cluster helps a lot on those GPS.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.